I'm Bailey Francisco, and I'm speaking with Alfred Lin. He's the COO and CFO of Zappos. Alfred helped sell Zappos to Amazon.com for $1.2 billion in a stock and cash deal based on Amazon stock price today. Alfred, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, Amazon and the Zappos deal closed in November, pretty recently. What have been the real synergies between Zappos and Amazon?
Well, when we did this deal, Amazon and Zappos agreed that Zappos be run independently, and for the most part, we've been run independently, and we haven't tried to sort of capture any potential synergies. We've just basically, both companies have been growing, and so basically we've just been left alone to just continue to build the business. There are a few things that we could do together, and we're talking about those things, but it's more when Zappos wants to do it, hey, come and talk to Amazon about what we can potentially do together. So they've been very, very good to their word about leaving us independent.
So what are some of the things that you think you might do in the future?
Well, certainly Amazon's business at a much greater scale, and they have a lot of technologies that we don't have today, and have built a lot of things at much higher scale. So, for example, building more distribution centers, they just know how to do that better and more efficiently than we have. They just have a lot more experience, and so when the time is right, when we think that it's time to build a distribution center, we'll certainly leverage their expertise. They have way more engineers than we do, for example. And
how many more engineers?
I don't know, thousands more than we do. Many thousands more than we do, and so maybe we can leverage some of their engineering talent to help us build out some of the stuff that we need to build out, more features and functionality for customers. They have web services that we potentially might want to put our platform on their platform. They run it for not just themselves, but also for a bunch of other companies, and so maybe we'll leverage some of their platform there as well.
Now, you just rolled out a recommendation engine. When did you do that, and how's it going?
I think we rolled it out late last year. Recommendation is being provided by a company called ChoiceStream. It's doing pretty well. So we're slowly rolling it out and ramping up. So right now it still accounts for a few percentage points in sales, but we have high hopes for that as well.
Because for other retailers, it definitely helps to drive a lot of traffic and sales.
Yeah, I think in areas like, certainly in media, where your friends, whatever they watch, you like to watch that too, and understand, so that you can talk about that kind of stuff. It works really, really well. I think in clothing and shoes, it's a little slightly different, because if your friend bought a blouse, you probably wouldn't want to buy the same blouse.
Right.
Your friend wouldn't appreciate it, and you don't want to look the same as your friend. So we're still figuring that kind of stuff out, and I think every single person wants to have their individual style in terms of dress, for clothing, and for shoes, and for handbags. So that might not work the same way, but we'll figure it out over time.
Now, you talked about blouses, and you sell housewares, clothing, clothes, as well as accessories. What percentage of your sales comes from non-footwear? Because most people know Zappos because of the shoes.
Well, right now, I think it's around 85% of our sales come from footwear, and maybe a little less. Somewhere between 80 and 85% of our sales come from footwear. Over time, hopefully one day, footwear will be less than 20%, and the reason for that is just the simple market size. In clothing, the market size is 4 times the size of the footwear market.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big. It's a pretty big market that we're very, very excited about.
What have been the challenges, or what are the challenges for a retailer to move into another category?
Part of the some of this is pretty obvious. Like for shoes, we had to sort of spend 8-9 years building up relationships with brand partners, and kind of have to do that all over again in a different product category. There are some brand partners that sell both footwear and clothing, but for the most part, even if they do, they're different relationships that you have to develop. And so that's just a somewhat time-consuming process that you sort of have to go through and get the trust brand partners to want to sell in your site.
Is that the big push of clothing, not accessories or housewares?
We're pushing through all of those product categories. Clothing is the largest, so we'll probably put more resources on that than accessories or handbags or housewares. But all those product categories are categories that are interesting to us and our customers.
Why would I go to Zappos to buy non-footwear items or clothes?
The same reason you would for footwear items. For us, we're trying to provide the absolute best service that you can get in an e-commerce environment. Think of us as bring the store to your home. Get to go online, order the stuff that you like, and the next day we'll ship it to you, and you can try it on everything together, and send us the stuff that you don't want.
Oh, that's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Is that you can ship it to that person and they can just send back whatever they don't want, and that's been great customer service. That's been driving sales.
Exactly.